I'm about to skate the lightest trucks ever made. These are the Lunar Light IVs from the 2-hex Skateboard truck factory that feature magnesium alloy base plates and hangers with hollow titanium axles and kingpins, made for your skateboard to be as light as possible. Shout out to the guys at 2-hex for sending me a pair of these trucks to try out, because I'm always looking for new ways to lighten the big eggboard setups that I ride. I went with these 8.5s because that's the biggest that they have at the moment, but I've got them on my 9.25 inch wide eggboard, which is about 8.5 over the truck, so it suits pretty perfectly. These are actually so light that when I got the package, I thought they messed up and only sent me one truck because of how light the box was. Both of these trucks weigh in at 534 grams total, or 267 per truck. The Tensor mag lights in the same size weigh in at a total of 620 grams, or 310 grams per truck. So these Lunar Lights have taken over the title of the lightest trucks ever, but we still need to test them out to see if the quality is also there, because there's no point in claiming having the lightest trucks ever if they just don't perform well. So before I go over some other features to this truck that makes them stand out, as well as some of the specs and geometry, let's get a little first impression of these trucks to see what we're actually dealing with today. This setup is actually so light, it's tripping me out so hard right now. Feels good though. That felt so good. I'm definitely coming back to get more tricks on this rail later in the session, but there's some other things we need to test out first. So these are quite a high truck with a 58mm hanger height, which are feeling pretty good and giving me a bit more clearance for the new 56mm conical fulls I've got on. They have pretty responsive 98 durometer bushings that seem to have worn in pretty quickly and are giving me a nice wide turn without catching any wheel bite, so they're feeling nice. The inverted hollow kingpin has a 15-degree grind clearance angle, so you won't be getting hang-ups on Feeble, Smiths and Hurricane grinds. And when it comes to the geometry, they feel very similar to the slappy inverted hollow lights that I'm riding on my main setup. Even lining both of them up with their front holes, the hangers are sitting in pretty similar positions, meaning you won't have as much friction with the wheels rubbing on the nose and tail slides since the hanger sits closer to the center of the base plate, and you're still going to get nice sharp turns on them without getting much wheel bite. So on paper, these trucks sound great, and they did feel pretty damn good during that little warm-up session then. But we have a lot more skating to do to see how durable these trucks actually are, and what I think about the performance and the quality after a full session on them. I've never skated magnesium trucks either, and that's supposed to allow you to grind through pretty much anything, which we're going to have to test out too, because there are a few crusty obstacles here that I want to try and grind through. So let's get back into the session, put these through a bunch more tests to see if the lightest trucks ever made are also made with high quality. These grind crust so well. That felt sick. The curbs here are so sick. Damn, I was pinching Slappy Crook so hard, the kingpin come undone. Oh, looks like I need to tighten them up a little bit. Alright, after some technical difficulties, we're back. That could have been so dodgy if it came off on the curb. I'll take it. take that too. It feels so good grinding that rail, and my kingpins stayed screwed in this time, so that's a plus. Now, I'm going to finish off with, I reckon I'll just do the straight 12, all kick flips, heel flips, and tray flips on the flat here, just to test what it's like doing flip tricks on this super light setup. And then I'll go over all of the positives and negatives I've found throughout this session on these trucks, but I'm sure you already know what I'm going to say about these. Judging from the kickflip, which I'm horrible at, I felt like I couldn't even control it because the setup's so light. Like it was just moving too far around. And this is a 9.25 with 56mm wheels. I can't imagine anyone from an 8 to an 8.5 inch board riding these trucks. I think it would just be way too light. Nollie and switch felt better, but I'm better at those anyway. Now the fakie. I suck at this one. Arm felt alright. Heel flip time. Time for the tray flips, but I can feel my kingpins loosen. Like, I don't know, you probably can't see that, but I can do this with my fingers, both of them. So I'm not gonna tighten them again. I'll just get these tray flips done and then I'll talk about everything, because I think you guys already know what I'm about to say. I'm definitely gonna need to tighten these. It's so squirrely when I get to the bottom when I'm about to pop. Both of them can fully be undone with my fingers. Look at that. And this one, yep, that one's even looser. I'm riding this board symmetrically too, so they're evenly loosening. I'm gonna do it a bit tighter than what I want them, just because, look at that. That bottom one looks like Day One's trucks. I don't want them to come loose while I'm doing these tray flips, because it's a really scoopy trick already. Oh, all right, hopefully they stay in place this time. But let's get these tray flips done. I think I'm going to take that because this ground's pretty rough. I'm not getting the scoop I want, and I have been struggling to tray flip in these currents since I started skating them. And that one was high and clean enough. So let's do the nollie, the fakie, and then end on the switch tray because that's the hardest. Oh, switch trays are so hard. So let's talk positives before we talk about the negatives. So as soon as I set them up, they were really comfortable, fresh out the box. They did have that looseness to new trucks when you first get a new pair. So I just tightened them that quarter turn, each one, like I said. And then as I kept skating, they felt really comfortable and felt like they were loosening up more and helping me carve around and just turn in general better. All the grinds felt good. The board was really light and comfortable. Lots of control in the transition and whatever else I was skating as well. Skating all the crusty stuff here was really good too. I've never skated magnesium trucks and these were grinding so good, and I didn't even wax anything until it came to the long slappy crook that I was trying and popping into the board slide. I was in the middle of trying those tricks, so I didn't really consider that the truck was loosening, the kingpin was loosening, until I threw down on one of those slappy crook attempts, and then I felt my board just go super swirly and I could hear the rattling. So I had a look and realized the kingpin was loose and it was just sitting in there. So that could have been so deadly if I did the slappy crook and the kingpin fell off and my whole truck just fell apart. This has never happened to me before. I've skated indies and slappies with inverted kingpins and never had this problem. On the videos I've done of those trucks, a lot of people have asked me if I've had that problem and said that whatever truck brand that they've skated has had that problem, whether it's Thunder, Indy, Slappy or Ace. So this is the first inverted kingpin truck I've ever skated where I've actually experienced this, and it was pretty bad, especially at the end when I was doing the flip tricks and I could feel the nuts unloosening. I could fully tighten and loosen them with my fingers. It had become that loose. So it is a negative for this truck, but it's not something that only happened on this truck. A lot of people have told me how this happens with all of the top brands as well, and a lot of people refuse to ride inverted kingpin trucks because of this problem, or they use a really strong super glue on the inside and super glue the nut pretty much so it won't move, so that kingpin won't loosen anymore. So that was the only negative at all that I came across. I'm just gonna have to try and super glue that nut into the base plate for my next session and see if that will loosen or if that will fix the problem. But other than that, the turns were good. I didn't get wheel bite. Super light, so really suited to these bigger setups that I ride. They grind so well, especially through crusty stuff, and I was really trying to grind like some of the harshest stuff here. The trucks are looking pretty hectic because I was purposely trying to bash them in and just put them through a good wear test, and they held up really well. But for people that ride smaller boards, like anywhere from a 7.75 to an 8.5, these might be just a little bit too light, unless that's what you want. But after that full session, my legs feel fine. I don't feel like I used a lot of energy today. My legs aren't sore, so that's another positive with these super light trucks. I did have a feeling these were going to be high quality before I tested them out because Kelvin Hoefler rides for this company. He's a massive pro in the industry and he rides for this truck company. He's one of the best skaters on the world, skating big handrails and gaps and stairs and stuff. So I didn't want to come in with that bias, but I had an idea that these trucks would be really good because someone like him represents this company. So shout out to the guys at 2Hex again for sending me these trucks. I'm going to keep them on this 925 setup for a little bit longer. I want to have a few more sessions on them, trying to mess with that kingpin nut, see if super gluing it in will help. But I'm still running the Slappy inverted hollow lights on my main setup, which you can check out a full breakdown of that truck in this video right here.